The day Christ died. It was in the Garden of Gethsemane, after Jesus ate a last meal with his disciples, that the full weight of what was about to happen came upon Jesus. He asked his dear friends to stay with him in prayer, while he went off alone to talk with his Father. He had been born to die for the sins of all mankind, but now the very human Jesus was wondering if there was any other way. He prayed this: Father, if it is possible, let this cup of suffering be taken away from me. Yet I want your will to be done, and not mine. He prayed this with a stress so intense that Luke the doctor records that his sweat fell to the ground like great drops of blood, a condition today called hematohidrosis. When the soldiers came to arrest Jesus, he was betrayed with a kiss by one of his own disciples, Judas, and then all the disciples fled. Jesus would go through with his mission alone. Throughout the night, Jesus would stand through 4 trials. The Roman governor Pilate would finally declare him innocent, but still have him flogged and handed over to die. Flogging was 40 lashes with a flagellum. This was a whip whose leather cords were loaded with shards of jagged bone and metal. And like most victims, it ripped Christ's flesh to shreds. And then, as if that wasn't enough, they wove for him a crown of thorns and stuck it deep into his throbbing head. The 40-pound crossbeam was then loaded onto Christ's shoulders while he stumbled up a hill outside of Jerusalem called Golgotha, or Calvary, meaning place of the skull. Only his disciple John would make it back to be in the crowd, along with his mother and a few other women friends while he was dying. Jesus would be crucified between 2 violent thieves on their own crosses. One thief would curse Jesus along with the others watching. But in a moment of revelation, the other thief would turn to Christ and plead for the life of his soul. What encouragement it must have been to hear Jesus say to him, "I assure you, today you'll be with me in paradise." Those 2 thieves on either side of Jesus represent all of us today. We're either on the side of rejecting him, or we're on the side of recognizing who he is and aligning our life with his. The day Jesus died was a day that no one would forget. People couldn't stop talking about it and about all the amazing things that happened. Many would write accounts of it, including Christ's disciple Matthew. Let's end this video by listening to Matthew tell what happened.
From the 6th hour until the 9th hour, darkness came over all the land. About the 9th hour, Jesus cried out in a loud voice,
Eloi, Eloi, lama sabachthani,
which means, my God, why have you forsaken me?"
And some of those standing there heard this. They said, "He's calling Elijah." Immediately one of them ran and got a sponge, filled it with wine vinegar, put it on a stick, and offered it to Jesus to drink. But the rest said, "I'll leave him alone. Let's see if Elijah comes to save him." And when Jesus had cried out again in a loud voice, he gave up his spirit. At that moment, the curtain of the temple was torn in two from top to bottom. The earth shook and the rocks split. The tombs broke open, and the bodies of many holy people who had died were raised to life. They came out of the tombs, and after Jesus' resurrection, they went into the holy city and appeared to many people. When the centurion and those with him who were guarding Jesus saw the earthquake and all that had happened, they were terrified and exclaimed, "Surely he was the Son of God."